Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're from around the world. My name is Dave Wilkes from Just Divine Poems. Yeah, it's Friday today. Happy Friday to everybody. No matter where you're from, like I said, from around the world. Yeah, it's one of my first lives with this type of setup, and you know what? At the moment, everything's going well. So I'm just gonna wait for a short while and to see who's going to be with us. Okay, we're just gonna invite a couple of people on right now, and just let me know, just send me a little message just to let me know if you can hear me okay and if you can see me okay. I'd really appreciate that. So yeah, happy Friday. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna go live and see what we can do and see what's in store for today. Okay, we've titled this one Divine Connections, but you know what, who knows how it's gonna go today. We might branch off, and you know, I've got an amazing man who's going to be joining me in the next 2 or 3 minutes. The man called Michael Lee. Anybody who knows Michael Lee will know this guy is an absolute legend. Yeah, a very special man. So yeah, I'm just going to invite him onto the broadcast right now, and let's find out what's going on in Michael Lee's world. And I know he's going to be firing me some amazing questions as well. He's just an amazing speaker. So let me just see if I can connect with the legend right now. Just want to say a big hi to Jennifer Angela Morgan, who's watching right now. Nice one. I see you're pretty active on some of your social media and your WhatsApp. So I'd just like to say, Jennifer, stay blessed. All right. So let me see if we can just get the legend on right now and see what we can do for the rest of this this broadcast. Yeah, I'm just inviting him in now. So let's just see what actually happens here. This is my first time, and ladies and gentlemen, I do thank you for connecting. You know what I mean? This is my first time doing this type of broadcast. All right. So, like I said, please bear with me, and please be gentle with me. Yeah. So let's just see if we can just connect with a legend. And his name is Michael Lee, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I can see him. I can see it. I'm not quite sure if I can hear it.
Oh, this is amazing. Thanks for having me, Dave. Love it.
You know what? I tell you what, it was about a week and a half ago, Michael. Yes. You just made a very loose suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the best suggestions I've heard in 2020. It was a suggestion that said, Dave, let's meet up on online. Let's do a broadcast together.
Exactly.
And you know what? What an amazing suggestions. I hope you got a lot more like that, you know what I mean? Throughout the year.
There's plenty. Don't you worry about that, Dave.
Amazing. No, sincerely, Michael, I thank you for taking the time out today, for putting this date together and the time together, for us just to talk. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit shy talking. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? So let's just see what we can create here. I think we've got a few messages on right now, and I am seeing Eve. Yes. Hi, Eve. Thanks for taking the time out to join us, Eve. I really appreciate that. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask any questions. Anybody who's connected right now. I'd just like to say hi to Carl, Leroy. Stay blessed, as I usually say, to people who connect with these kind of broadcasts. So yeah, everything's cool. Do you know what, Michael? I hope your family and your friends are well today.
Yes.
And I speak sincerely when I say that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm gonna hand it over. I'm gonna hand the button over to you.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And let's just fire away and just see where our within takes us today, this afternoon. Being here in the UK, we're very thankful and grateful for the connection.
Definitely.
So the button goes over to you. Thank you, Carl, for your message there. Yeah, over to you, Mike.
Sure. Dave, I think there's an echo on your end. Or is it my end? Oh, it's gone now.
An echo?
Yeah. Okay, it's fine now. I kept hearing this echo. It's all good.
Echo.
All good. Dave, first and foremost, thank you for having me. And a big shout out to Eve for showing up. To Eve is a mindset coach. So if you want to check her out, she's on Mentally Move. Carl Leroy, he has a digital detox course as well. So check him out if you want. But for now, Dave, thank you very much for having me. Yes, we spoke about a week and a half ago about this and going live together and seeing how we can bring each other up. But I want to take it back to when we first met. Before I start that, people may be wondering, who the hell is this Michael Lee? So let me tell you who I am. So I am a happiness and confidence coach. I am an international speaker. I have a TEDx talk next in March 2021. And that will be, I called it, Who Are You Really? Which just means that once you remove your title, your labels, who are you? And that's a big question. What are you doing in this world or the universe? So that's the big one. That's more about me. But for this talk today, it's about divine connection. So what does that mean? So I want to take it back to March 2020, right? And we're on the verge of lockdown. And this is events that our mutual friend put together. And I think the lockdown happened, when did it happen? 13th of March or something like that. And this event was the 8th of March. And some people didn't turn up because of COVID-19. It's not worth it. But you know what? When there's an opportunity to network, opportunity to get to know people, opportunity where there may be not just connections, but divine connections, sign me up. So I came to this event and there were about maybe 10 speakers or so. And I remember Dave walked through the door and I'm like, who the hell is this guy, right? So he came in, he was suited and booted. I'm like, wow, I don't think I'm dressed properly for this occasion. And he came in, he set himself up, and I was watching him, and I sat right at the back because I didn't know anyone. And I was with my friend Aaron at the time. And Dave came in, he was greeting everyone. I was like, okay, Dave is kind of a big shot in here. Okay, I need to get to know Dave. There needs to be a reason why. Okay. And then he came up, and he was the first speaker. And he came up, and he started, I think one of his poems, I think it was Comfort Zone. Was it Comfort Zone that came up? That's my lead for you. Go get it. Yep. Thanks, Steve. So Dave came up, and I remember Dave was about to speak, and then Phil came to me. Phil was the MC at the time, or the host, and he came up to me and goes, "Michael, is that all right if you speak after Dave?" I was like, "Well, I'm a speaker. Like, there's nothing to worry about." And then the microphone wasn't working that time. And Dave said, don't worry about microphone. I don't need a microphone. And I'm like, okay, this guy, he's full of himself, but we'll just give it a shot. And as soon as he opened his mouth, and I thought, fuck me. Am I okay to swear on this? I swear a lot. So he came up. And
I think my mom's watching, so let's leave that one.
Yeah. So he came up and he started his poem, but it was so powerful. I've never seen anyone like talk about the poem in that kind of way. And I felt as if I was drawn to it. It was insane. And I was holding onto my chair and I said to Aaron, what the hell is happening? I've never, ever experienced anything like this from a speaker. And I said to myself, Aaron, I'll be honest with you, I've been speaking for a few years. I don't think I can go after Dave. And he said to me, I know. And I'm like, thanks. So so Dave did his business. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Normally it will be me to set the pace, but Dave set the pace. And I said to myself, as I walked past Dave, I gave him that high five and I said, that's amazing. and it was a case where when I walked past him, I was like, how do I go one step above Dave? Because this is very hard, because he set the bar so high. So I went up there and I told everyone, listen, this is very hard. Moving forward, to let Dave go last or something, because it puts people off. And that's the power of Dave's voice, his words. And he definitely resonates with you. And Dave, for those people that are listening, especially from my tribe, they may not know who you are, but it would be amazing if you can recite one of your poems, like Comfort Zone, for example, and just let people feel that energy, what I'm talking about. And maybe you can do that straight after this. And I'm sure Eve and Carl would love to hear it. And I went up there and I did my talk as well. So that was the first part. And then I had to leave. And as I was leaving, I said to Dave, Dave was the first person I spoke to. And I said, Dave, I don't know you, but I need your phone number because something needs to happen from this. And from that moment there, it was just a connection. But I knew that we can develop this and make it to divine connection. And I remember we started speaking afterwards and looking at how we can help each other. And from there, we worked with each other. And now, last week and a half, we really said, actually, let's really work together. Let's go on a talk. And from there, we've been speaking more or less every single day. And some talks are maybe about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Should be 5-10 minutes. But we just been laughing and adding value to each other's life for about an hour and a half. Even last night, we were there's so many things that Dave spoke about that really resonate with me. And I said, this guy, he's definitely a divine connection for me. Dave, I don't know if you want to add anything to that event, for example, or what the divine connection means to you.
Yeah. Do you know what? Thanks for putting me on that beautiful platform with your words there, Michael.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly speak about the event. So I'm from Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
All right, mate. So I'm from Birmingham, and you know, I was invited to come down to London. I haven't really been in that type of arena where the event was. And do you know what? I just said to myself, Dave, you never know who you're going to connect with.
100%.
When we're traveling, you know what I mean? Yeah, it might be a bit of a distance, but do you know what? As long as it's all blessed, and you'll probably hear me use that word quite often. As long as something's blessed, as long as the organizer's blessed, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm up for it. You know what I mean? So blah blah blah. I've actually got into London, and like you, I've just known a few people at this event.
Mm-hmm.
But my only intention and my only thought,
Mm-hmm.
whoever I go in front of, they're having it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when I speak in front of any guests, any audiences, that's my only thought. I've got to try and bless at least one person, and any more than one person, it now becomes a beautiful bonus.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I've gone onto the platform now, and this is usually what happens. I just have a little prayer in my mind. It might be a 10-second prayer, and then bam, I'm going to go in. All right. And after I've introduced myself, and you've asked for comfort zone. Do you
Yes.
want it a little bit watered down, or?
No, no. I want to give me what I've heard on that day. I'm ready.
Okay then.
I'm ready.
Okay. So for me, really, I like space to move around. So I've done a few Zooms and stuff like that, and we can't really move that much. But I'm just gonna do the best for where I am right
Please.
now. So, ladies and gentlemen, some people might be experiencing being in a comfort zone where you just keep on doing the same, the same, the same, the same, the same. You know what I mean? Just day in, day out. It could be a relationship that's just the same old, same old. It could be that job where you just keep going there 9 to 5 and nothing's really going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be that friendship that you've had for 15 years, but it's got the same content when you guys meet. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about comfort zone, and when I went in, this is what came out. To understand whether you're at work or at home, as of today, please come out of your comfort zone. Because the same old, it makes your life become thinner and thinner. You see, when you come out of your comfort zone, it turns you into a champion and a winner. Be with the elite. You won't be alone when you commit yourself coming out of your comfort zone. Coming out the comfort zone, yes, there's going to be a little bit of pain. But the end result's going to feel lovely, like when Tarzan rescued Jane. I've done it. Each day not doing the norm. I wish I'd have done it from the first day I was born. You see, coming out your comfort zone, now you're not wrapped up in cotton wool. It releases this energy to live your life to the full. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Dave.
Look at that. Woo!
Thank you.
It's powerful.
And I've recited that one a million times, Mike, and do you know what? I'm gonna keep on speaking that poem.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? I've wrote 1,000 pieces up until February 2020. We'll talk about that later on. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I did say 1,000. Yeah, you should show me some hearts and some thumbs and all that kind of stuff. You know what? Send me a comment if you want. Yeah, 1000. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So and comfort zone was one of the first. One of the first. So some people might say, why do you keep on speaking comfort zone? The reason is, for somebody who's probably never heard it before, it might be the defining moment of a situation in their life. I could have spoke comfort zone 3 years ago and just put it away. So many people say, do you know what? I totally resonate in what you're saying. Because Mike, I've had people come to me, very, very wealthy people, people going through a tough time, and said, you know what? I'm right there. That comfort zone that you was talking about, I'm right there in my life. And I thank you, Dave. And just to hear the word thank you after you've shared your gift with somebody, Mike, I can't explain it very well.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. You said it's a gift, but I think it's more than a gift, because I remember you telling me that your poems saved at least 6 people that you know of, and it could have saved more. We don't know. We don't know the true number. What yeah. Can you shed some light on that one?
Okay then. So I've been writing and reading these poems now for I'd say about 5 years now.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine who's a great support and a great cheerleader for the work that I create. And if I go on a broadcast and I perform it 9 times out of 10, she's there. And just giving me that encouragement about thinking of a title and writing an A4 poem about it, whether it's for a men's organization, a ladies organization, or the youths. And little did I know that while she was supporting me verbally, I was kind of healing her.
Wow.
With what I do, writing inspirational poems, motivational poems, uplifting poems. I didn't know it was like my poem creations. It was like medicine. Does that make sense?
It does. That makes total sense.
You know what I mean? And so, if anybody wants to ask me the question, well, how do you come to the point of saying you saved somebody's life because of your poems? Well, it's as simple as this. This particular friend was going through a very, very bad patch. From the light, then it started going grey, and then it actually tiptoed onto the dark. And for me, I've not experienced that. You know what I mean? But I'm very compassionate to listen to a person who's on that process. You know what I mean? And she kept on saying, Dave, I've had enough. I've had enough. I've had enough. I said, listen, you pump yourself up. You come and listen to me, or you go to your creator, or blah, 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 whatever the case may be. And she'll go strong for probably 6 months, Michael. And to all who are on the platform right now, she'll probably go strong. And then there's that time where she just starts to wobble.
Wow.
She starts to wobble. And Dave, I'm in that dark place again, and I pump it back up, and we go back into the grey. You know what I mean? And you may be at the grey for like 5 months, and then life happens, and then you go back towards the dark. And I said, and one day I was actually in London, and this person said to me, you know what? I'm ready to give up, Dave. I said, no, give up. Are you mad? Listen, I'm in London, and I can't get to you where you are right now. It's going to take me about 3 or 4 hours. Please don't give up. He said, no. You've done enough talking. You've done enough inspiration. It's time for me to... I'm like, no, please just hold on. So the point I'm making now, I've shot back to where she lives. And, when I got there, her eyes were like pandas, you know what I mean? Black, been crying for hours kind of thing, you know what I mean? And, I said, listen, let's talk again. Because it's good to talk,
Yes.
I don't know how many people there are in the world, you know what I mean? But I think it's more than 5.3 billion, you know what I mean? So listen, we've got to find one. You've got to go to your creator first. Yes. You know what I mean? And then you've got to find a family member or a friend. And I'm going to say this now. If you feel that you can't go to any of those, send me an inbox message, a private message, and let me listen and let me see if I can find a solution to the situation.
Wow.
Yeah? So just as a bind what I'm talking about, Anthony Mole, you're an amazing person. I've just seen you pop up on the on this broadcast. So at the end of the day, I said to her, please don't take your life. Just hang on till tomorrow morning. No, Dad, no, it's okay. You know what I mean? I can slip away. No, please, just hang on. Hang on till tomorrow morning. I'm gonna come with a gift. That night, I went home and I wrote one of my biggest poems. One of my biggest poems, because I know this lady very well. You know what I mean? And I went down to the nitty gritty. I was talking about her children. You know what I mean? How she's a rock for the children. I'm not gonna mention the grandchildren and the great grand. I'm not even gonna go down that road. I'm just dealing with her children and how her children talk about her as a rock.
Wow. Love that.
There was no rose are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. I went down into the nitty gritty. Yeah. And 4 years later, if you ask that person, what did that poem do for you? It was an A4 poem.
Yeah.
It actually saved my life.
Whew, look how powerful that is. And
it actually saved my life. I can't wake up in the morning and leave the front door without reading my poem, my personalized poem created and signed by Dave Wilkes.
Wow.
I can't go to bed. This is the lady speaking. I can't go to bed without reading my poem. This is some just divine poem medicine.
Love that.
I'm gonna pull the handbrake up on that one right now.
The amazing thing about that for me is that you saved her life, right? From your words. And what I love about that is that you never ever gave up on her. You said, I'm 3-4 hours away, but I'm making my way down to you. This is what a divine connection is. It's someone that uplifts you, someone that's going to bring you to another level. And in this instance, you saved her life, and you can't put a price on that. That's the amazing thing. And you've done it for 6 people that you know of.
That I know of.
That you know of. God knows. And you've written 1,000 poems. And God knows how many. These are the people that reached out to you and said, hey, Dave, this is what you've done for me. But God knows how many it saved. And that's incredible. That's a big statement to you on how well you've done and how powerful your words are. So please don't stop. Please just carry on. The next time we talk, I want to say, Michael, I've done 2,000. Michael, I've done 3,000. Just
next time. So we're going to be talking in about an hour, aren't we? When we come off the broadcast.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I know what you're saying, though. Yeah. Listen, Mike, I'm at the point now. Listen, there's a point in your life, sister and Ashton, love you, TT's mom. Listen, there's a point, yeah?
Yeah.
There's a point in your life when you know.
100%. I'm with you.
And let me just explain about when you know. Let me talk about my gift.
Sure.
To hear somebody say, "Can you write for somebody special for me?" You know what I mean? This is their name, and I always ask for like 7 or 8 special points about your loved one. It could be your husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your dog, your cat, your budgie, your goldfish, your car. Right, Dave. Mate, could you write about my car, mate? Because I love my car. You know what I mean? It's a Jaguar, and it's a 1943 Jaguar, Dave. The wheels on my Jaguar, I love my wheels, and it's Oxford blue, Dave. You know. So what the guy's actually doing is giving me the bullet points about something he loves. You see, when I get those bullet points, I'm going to another world. And if there's anybody on here right now who's experienced one of my poems, because you've given me your bullet points about your loved ones, let's just share it on the platform, because that's what we're here for. So I'm just going to bind together when I'm talking about a gift. Yeah. When when you're an amazing singer, you just know that it's time to spread the love, spread the gift.
That's right.
You could be an amazing dancer doing all that dancing in maybe the bedroom. I feel when you've got a gift, there must be a time to share it. I know I've got a gift. I've been blessed every single day. I'm thankful for what I've been blessed to do. Yeah. And I've made that divine connection.
Yes.
And there's nothing sweeter than that divine creation from your creator, because it feels right. When I connect, it just feels right. And it's like you. I'm gonna go back to you, Michael. So when we finished the event in London,
yes,
you know what I mean. You spoke with so much. It was like, you see, you when you speak, you're not barking, rah, 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 rah. You know what I mean? There's something about the way that you speak, yeah. And you just pull people in. You've got a special gift to pull people in, and when you was on the platform, you know what I mean. You pulled me in. It was one of those ones.
Wow.
You just pulling me in. I think the last time I got pulled in by listening to somebody, was like Rocky 1. You know what I mean? As a kid watching Rocky 1. Rocky 1, he pulled me in.
Wow.
He pulled me in.
Love that.
So, yeah, and when you walk past me after you've done your speech, I felt the energy.
Yeah.
I swear down, I felt the energy, and I said to myself, you know what I mean? That's a man of value. You, Mike, there's a man of value, and all I want to do in my day, all I want to do in my day, I want to connect with valuable people.
That's right.
It could be black, white, pink, yellow, orange, or purple. If you're valuable, you know what I mean?
Yes.
We're gonna make a connection.
Exactly. And that's what
when
it is.
you're talking about all these soap operas and negative this and blah 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 and the dog and I might listen for a little while, but that's no valuable. That's not no value for me for us to bounce off each other. And everyone on this platform and everybody listening to this broadcast right now, you're valuable.
Wow. Deep
down inside. Let's just carry on inspiring each other.
Definitely. And I want to share a story about divine connections, what divine connections mean to me. Because sometimes we feel like divine connections comes from both ways and it has to marry together. But you gave an example there, Dave, where you were the divine connection for someone else, that you were there to uplift someone. So that's your personal story. So I want to share one of my personal stories.
Yeah,
and it goes back to 11 years when I first started my first job. But it was a first job, right? And for those who've graduated with no experience, going out into the real world, and they don't hire anyone because you don't have experience, but it's crazy, right? And my background is of course marketing. For most of you guys know about that. And I landed a telesales job. I don't know how I landed telesales, which is not marketing, but I went in there and I landed a telesales job, and I was the worst person to do telesales. I hated it. It's not for me. It is for some people. I just felt like I felt empty inside because I worked so hard to get my degree, my master's, and here I am picking up the phone, calling people in the US. I don't understand the products that we're selling, and it was insane. But my line manager, she kept pulling me in like every single day to a room, not to to scold me or anything like that, but just to lift me. And I'm like, this is insane. This is a one woman that believes in me, but no one else around me does, because I'm not bringing any sales. And you have the CEO that says we need to get rid of Michael, and this line manager says, no, he is staying. I'm not bringing any sales. And I'm like, what? How does this help her? And I told her I don't want to do telesales. I want to be a marketer. And she goes, just try and telesales. We'll bring some money in. You'll be fine. And I had no experience. And everyone that she brought in, they had experience. I was the only one. So there's some kind of connection that I had with her, or she had with me, that brought me into this room. And then I remember 2 months into it, the COO, he brought me into a room and said, Michael, I need to get rid of you. And I said, no, you're not going to get rid of me, right? And this is the basis of the words that my line manager told me. She's the director. And I said to the CEO, you're not going to get rid of me. I'm staying. And then going back and forth for about maybe 2 to 5 minutes, he said, okay, because you have this fighting spirit inside of you, I'm going to let you stay. And then he brought in other people in and fired them on the spot because they weren't fighting for the role. And my line manager said, I believe in you. I know you can do it, right? But the next month came, and I brought in no sales. And again, I'm rubbish at telesales. And I think I'm still rubbish now because my heart is not in it. I don't understand the product. I'm speaking. I'm cold calling. So I remember they pulled me into a room, and it was the CEO and my line manager. And the CEO said to me, Michael, honestly, it's been 3 months. You brought in 0 sales into this business. We're going to get rid of you. And my line manager's there. I don't know what she saw in me, but she said, no, we're not going to get rid of Michael. He needs to stay. And the CEO was adamant that he's going to get rid of me. He said, I've seen enough. He doesn't bring any value into this business. But my line manager said that give him another chance. And then the line manager said, threw his curveball at the CEO and said that actually, if you were going to move him from telesales, let's move him into a marketing role. There's no marketing role in the company. We said, let's create one for him. And this is something that she saw in me, which I didn't. That I can be a marketer. And the CEO said, no, that's not going to happen. If he can't do telesales, how is he going to do marketing? And I had to fight for my corner and said, actually, it's like giving Michael Jordan a football. He's going to be rubbish at it. So you need to give him a football. Oh, what's going on? It's just me. Okay, so I'm taking over, apparently. Hopefully Dave will join us. So I'll carry on anyway. So my story here is that my line manager fought for me in that corner and said we are going to give him a different role. And the CEO was on her back and saying, no, we can't give it. But she saw something inside of me and uplifted me. And then she was leaving the company anyways. So there's no real need for her to bring me into another role. But there's something in her that felt that I need to get Michael, to help Michael. And that for me is a really true divine connection. And that for me, it kind of made me realize what that word actually meant. And sometimes with divine connections, it doesn't necessarily mean that someone is going to be in your life that because they helped you then. It's not, thank you. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to be in your life for forever. It could just mean that this is the chapter where they intervene and uplift you to where you need to go, and then leave afterwards. And I haven't spoken to her for a couple of years, and you have to be okay with that. And you allow you to open more doors for other people to join. So that's one of them. I think Dave's back now. Everything all right, Dave?
Yeah. Your conversation was just getting so hot. It was just getting so hot. You know what I mean? And then, the devil who wants to try and stop us from going to some higher levels, he picked in, but guess what? He lost again. So,
I love that. Yeah. Wow. I was telling my story about 11 years ago, just to recap, that someone has come into my life when I really needed someone to help me or someone to believe in me when I didn't believe in myself. And someone saw something inside of me, just like when your friend didn't see her that with her life, that she didn't value her life, but you saw something inside of her and said, you know what?
That's big.
I need to come down to London right now. Take me 2, 3, 4 hours, and I'll be there. Let me come back another day. and I'm going to write something, the most powerful poem just for you. And what did that happen? What happened? She's checking her poem every single day, reading it before she leaves. And this is the impact that we have on people's lives.
Come on now.
Like I was saying earlier, that divine connection doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be there forever from there. Sometimes it's just part of their chapter that you come in, you're going to uplift them, and then you move on to someone else to help someone else's life. And that for me was a big thing for me in terms of divine connection, what that meant for me. And there's times where, I don't know, for you guys that don't know, 7 years ago, I created a charity called Fundraise for Vietnam. And this is to support the underprivileged children of Vietnam. And there's a backstory to it, but I don't want to touch on that because what I want to touch on is more on supporting the underprivileged children in Vietnam, right? And I feel like I am a divine connection for the villages that I go in and support, because in these villages, they are poor. They don't have anything, right? And I'm going there, and it's not like for me to brag. I thrive of supporting and helping people. They may be speaking to God and praying to God and say, please help us. Please bring some food, some shoes, some clothes for my son, and daughter. And God speaks to people in different ways. And I'm coming in to support that village and saying, I've heard that you need a scholarship. I heard that you need food. I heard that you need school uniforms. Here it is for you. And I provide that. And this is the way that sometimes we pray to God, and God answers it in different ways. And that's why having different people to introduce in your life. But you have to recognize that as well, that your prayers are answered, but it may be indirectly. And this is the way that the miracles are. So that's why me turning up to orphanage or turning up to hospitals every single year to help these people, that's my way of giving back to the community. That's why I say that I am a divine connection for them. That's maybe this is the time that I come into your life to support you, to help you. Sometimes there's families that come to me and says that, or to other people and says that we don't have anything. Our farm is dry. There's no crop whatsoever. No worries. I have the funds for you to support that. I'll make it happen. Wow. This way you want to go in a few years' time to support your family, I'm going to make it happen for you. Don't you worry about that. You have my word, and I'll make it happen for them. And this is not just to brag and say this is the good thing that I'm doing. It's more on a divine connection that I am there to support. I am there to divine connection that I may come into their life and support them. And then I'll go into a different city or a different village to support another one. But I can't be there every single time. But I'll try my best. I can only do God's work so much for one particular person. Wow. And it's down to that person to work on that work. Because sometimes let's say for a farmer, if they pray to God and say, I want my son or daughter to go to school, right? And someone comes into your life and provides that, you have to work hard, just as hard. You can't sit there and pray every single time for God to do your work. You have to meet God halfway and put the work in. Does that make sense, Dave?
Listen, you're heavy today. Come on, keep going, man.
Yeah, so this is what I tell my charity, my people, that we're here to serve. But their families, the poor families, have to meet us halfway, that they have to be able to maintain it. If we can help your farm, if we can provide the livestock, they have to maintain that, because if things goes pear-shaped in a few years' time, they have to have a backup plan. I can't be here every single time. There's families calling me every single time and saying, we need help, we need help. I can't be there every single time. But when I come into your life, I'm going to bless you. You can guarantee that I will bless you. And oh, God, Dave. I'm going to have some water.
Listen, let me just jump it whilst you're having your water.
Do it.
Michael, my friend. Listen, I didn't know you was this heavy.
I'm here to have fun, man. I'm here to drop bombs. That's what it is.
Come on now. Yeah, I mean, Eve saying preach, you know what I mean? Listen, I didn't know this side of you, Michael, talking like this. Oh, dearie me. Who thinks that we should do another one very, very soon? Listen, let me just come into... Whoa. Listen. You know, that was amazing, Mike. And you know what? This is the second time of me hearing that beautiful story of yours, because like I said, when I walked on that platform in London, I'm starting to talk with a little bit of Cockney accent now. All right, mate, all right. You know what I mean? No, but on a serious note, when I walked into that room and I saw you at the back, you know what I mean? Something told me that you're some heavyweight champion of the world. You know what I mean? But for me, there wasn't much movement. You know what I mean? You was at the back with your friend. There wasn't much movement. Lawrence Roberts. Now, when you're talking about divine connection, this man here on the screen here, this man here.
I love that message. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Listen. Let me just read it out. For me, divine connection is a connection that does not expect, but it's there to support and help and guide. Listen, let me tell you something. Listen, let me just put you on pause. Right, we're warming up now. We're here all night. You know what I mean? We're here all night. Listen, Michael, I'm going to come back to you as an amazing person. I'm just being quiet tonight because the neighbors are, he's off again. You know what I mean? But listen, I'm just going to come and tell you about Lawrence Roberts. Yeah? I'm just going to tell you about Lawrence Roberts. It was an accident. And this is when I'm saying it's a divine connection. When you come into a divine connection, it's not usually planned.
Wow.
It's not usually planned. So the divine connection with Mr. Lawrence Roberts here, I was talking to his sister, and his sister, blah, 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 blah. Months went on. You've got to...
Oh, am I live? Oh, okay. Dave's pause. Oh wow, he's too much. He's too much for his broadcast today, or maybe his neighbor cut off his internet. Who knows? Maybe it's too loud. But hopefully Dave will be back. I'm assuming I'm live because they can see the timers that's going up. Let me know while I wait for Dave. Let me know if you have any comments, any questions that based on what I've said earlier about divine connections. And you're right, Lawrence, the divine connection doesn't expect anything. It's there to support and help and guide. The charity one is probably the best example of me doing that. I don't expect anything. I don't want anything from them. I'm just here to support where I can. I'm here so that I can make their life just a little less harder. That's my job. That's my purpose. My purpose itself is to serve people as best as I can. And it so happens to be Vietnam now. My big intention is to make it global, of course, and see where we go from there. Dave, you're back.
Yeah, I'm black. Yeah, I'm black. So did you say black or back?
I said you're back. Yes.
Can I just have you finished?
Go for it. No, go for it.
I'm going to bring you back. So this Lawrence Roberts, you know what I mean? Let me tell you about Lawrence Roberts. Let me tell you about him. So I met his sister first, and then his sister said, listen, you've got to meet my brother because he's very valuable and he's very inspirational. So we just started talking, and we started talking over a number of months, and then he just pressed the button. He pressed the button. Now, sometimes when you press the button to help somebody else, it's got to be at a divine timing.
Wow. Timing.
No, that's another one. That's another one.
Another talk.
Yeah, that's another talk. We can't give you divine connection and divine timing in one broadcast. Are you mad? So listen, all I'm saying to you now. So when Lawrence Roberts thought it was the right time to press the button, listen. Let me tell you what he did for me. He got me in front. Lawrence, you're amazing. He got me in front of one of those corporate banks. Yeah?
Yes.
He pressed the button at the right time. We've been talking for months. He pressed the button at the right time, and he got me straight into one of the world's greatest banks.
Oh, love that.
Now, when somebody shows you a door like that, you hold them tight like a newborn baby. You can't disrespect that connection that's been divinely made.
Wow.
And to this day, so we're probably clocking up maybe, I'll go with 12 years with Lawrence. Yeah. We've never had to speak in a wrong manner once.
Wow. That's a power there of divine connections.
When you'll know when you're kicking into a divine connection, you will know. It just feels right.
Wow.
And with people anyway,
Preach.
it's supposed to be love and respect anytime, anyway. Let's start looking even more, because I know that there's people on this platform right now and I've seen them, you know what I mean? Let's even more start valuing people. Let's start valuing partners.
Wow.
I'm going there. Value your wife really and truly. Value your husband really and truly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because really and truly, I know as human beings, there's a little bit of a conflict now and again. Let's start adding a bit more value to the special people around us.
100%. Love that. Love that message.
You know what I mean? And do you know what? People are brought in for a reason. And I'm going to flick back to you, Michael. The story that you've just said, which I've heard a couple of times in Vietnam. When you've got something valuable, it might be just to speak. It might be something as material. Isn't there a beauty when you can bless somebody with something valuable?
100%.
It might be a child of 4 years old, drawing maybe a butterfly. We're not talking about value. When I'm talking about value, I'm not talking about something that's just cost 10 grand. Something valuable that we can take. We've been offered to receive it. Something that we can receive that's valuable. I remember my daughter drawing a stick man with spiky hair.
Yeah.
Me.
Wow.
You know how valuable that is to me?
Love that.
Listen, I mean, when we're talking about valuable people, I mean, here's my cousin now, Alex. I mean, Alex is my blood. You know what I mean?
Love that one.
He's younger than me, but he's valuable to me. So like I'm just gonna round off this part before you come back in, Michael. Let's have a look at who's around us. Let's have a look at who's under our roof. And let's speak some more truth.
Definitely. Even when we talk about divine connections, just thinking about it now, divine connections for me need to start from home. And this is something that Dave touched on, that divine connections is uplifting your partner, your wife, your husband. And that's where it comes from before you can go out there and make it really, truly real impact. That's the inner value, that's priceless, Carl. That's the idea of being in a partnership, in a marriage, that you have to uplift your partner to become who they want to be. And vice versa, they would do the exact same as well. But if there's conflicts, then that's not a real divine connection. That's just
Yeah,
that's just a connection. You're just married. But the idea behind it is that you need to help each other, raise each other up. And then once you're able to raise each other up, you can go out there and make some serious impact. And that serious impact could be someone when you go to work, for example, go to work or meet someone, a stranger. Sometimes it could be just meeting a homeless person, for example, going there and meeting someone and what you say to them, and you become their divine connection for what you say to them. Because that person, for all you know, like Dave said, could be someone that's gone to commit suicide, which is quite an extreme example. But because you intervened, because you stopped, because you made time for them and said, hang on a second, let me stop here for 1 or 2 minutes and talk to this person. And just because you had a conversation with that person and they feel valued because someone noticed them, whereas thousands of people walk past them, that was a game changer for them to live another day. It's You see these kind of things. This is what I mean by divine connections. Sometimes we don't even know we're making divine connections with people, but we're making these connections, and people can interpret it whether it's a connection or not. But we have this good intentions within our hearts to stop and to uplift people. The homeless one is definitely a big one for me. I remember I was volunteering in this charity in UK called Crisis. I'm not sure if you know it, Dave. And at the end of so they have this homeless shelter. And I remember I was in Hackney, and during Christmas period, I volunteered for about 2 weeks, and they brought all these homeless people in to celebrate Christmas. And you go in there and you're just having these conversations with them. And homeless people, there's lots of stories about homeless people, and that they're drug addicts and they're alcoholics, don't get any money. But once you sit down with the homeless people, which I did, I'm like, hang on a second, these are normal people. And I've had conversations with people where they said that, what did they say to me? They said to me that I've last year I was married for a couple of years and I had a mortgage. And it's just so happened that because my marriage broke down, I've been out on the streets. These are normal people. They're not on drugs. They're not drinking alcohol. Anything like that. Exactly. And I'm there, I'm sitting down with people and I'm investing hours into them, listening to the story. And they said to me, this is the first time where I feel valued for a long time. And because when you're sitting on the street and they're begging, then nobody looks at them and think they are not worthy. Why should I'm better than this person. But you come into their life and you make time for these people. That's a whole different thing for them. And this is what I mean, that I may not see this person again, but they may remember me for a very long time. And that's the beauty behind these divine connections.
Wow, that's amazing. And you know, the value that you give to somebody, whether they're homeless or not or whatever, it's what you do and what you say. You know what I mean? And we've got to be led from the heart. Yes. And we've got to be compassionate when we're talking to people. You know what I mean? Carl Stevens, who's on the screen right now, he's asking, what are the few things we can internationally do to become divine connectors? Well, do you know what? I think the first move that we need to do is let people know that we're there.
Oh, it's simple as that.
What I mean? We can't be sleeping in our bed and thinking, oh, I would love to be a divine connection with somebody international. Listen, we've got to make the first moves. What arena do you feel that your gift internationally can fill a gap?
Yeah. Love that.
What is your gift? So you've got to ask yourself the question, in my opinion, what have I got to fit the gap? And you know what? There's many gaps that our gifts can fill globally. Globally. So I would say, Carl, and I'm coming to link you up in the next 24 hours. We'll talk about that later on. So yeah, I'm just looking at this message here. Back to King Lawrence.
Wow.
Read it out yourself, mate. Read it out yourself.
Wow.
You see this guy?
That's powerful. Come on.
Go on, read it out.
Add me on Facebook afterwards. We need to talk.
Yeah.
I'm not done with you just yet. Don't you worry about that.
My man Lawrence is just saying, my divine connection this week is hearing Michael speak. Wow. Deep, brother, with passion and with a heart. Wow. I will link you two together.
Wow. And
you two are like bread and butter. You know what I mean? You just
you crack me up, Dave. I love it.
Amazing. Do you know what? We're approaching an hour. Yeah. I'd want to go on till probably about 10:30 p.m.
Same as well. We can be here all night, to be honest.
You know what I mean? And you know what I see here, Michael? I think we're gonna have to make this a regular shot, because the love that's on this platform right now, and there's some powerful people on here. Some I know some of your tribe, but we've got to come back again, because
100%. I'm behind you, Dave. I'm actually enjoying this.
Yeah, I am as well. You know what I mean? Because
I'm loving your vibe. I'm loving your energy. This is amazing.
And I'm bouncing off you, mate.
Yeah,
you're valuable to me. You're valuable to me.
Wow, 100%. This is what it is. This is divine connection. Like we can go far together, and we can make. What's that thing you always say to me, Dave? You ain't seen nothing yet, and I'm 100% behind you. And I want to be behind you when it happens. When you make that impact, I'm there. I'm like, that's what he was talking about all along. That's what I'm waiting for. But I'm going to be part of your journey, Dave, whether you like it or not.
Listen, mate, what you got to do is just put on your seatbelt.
Strap in. Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Put on your seatbelt. You know what I mean? And you know, my intention, like I said in the beginning, the first 10 minutes, all I want to do is bless at least one person per day.
Yes.
And any more than one is a bonus.
Wow.
That's my dream. That's my dream, my everyday dream. You know what I mean? And listen, I've just said a word there called dreams. Listen, let me just ask a quick question before I do what I'm going to do. Yeah?
Yes.
Steve, Lawrence, you know, Alex, you know, who's on, you know, Carl, I'm going to ask you, have you got a dream? Michael, have you got a dream, mate?
I do have a dream. Everyone dreams. I have a dream, and I'm chasing it right now.
Okay.
Or I'm living it to some degree.
Right. Yeah. Listen, and living it, because you know what? Once we get this right, the dream will come to you.
Woo. It
will come to you. You know what I mean? So, to those who haven't heard, the first poem I ever wrote, it's called
Dave,
Dreams.
I'm just gonna put my seatbelt on. 1 second. Let's do it. Give it to me. Come on. I'm ready.
Okay, then. A dream will never come true if you don't start with a dream idea. A dream will never come true if you're not prepared to take your life up an extra gear. Carl, Eve, stretch. Go on, stretch a little more. The type of stretch like you're tiptoeing on your bedroom floor. At least once a day, Michael, imagine yourself living your dream and taking your positive self-belief somewhere astronomical where it's never been. Thank you.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. I need that in my life. Wow. It's amazing.
We got it, man. We got it. We've all got it. And, you know, all I want to do is just keep on climbing. We've got to keep on climbing. And you know what? We'll get all that we need to get, you know. We'll get all, Michael, and all who are on the platform, we'll get what we need to get. But I just want to kind of wrap up by saying one thing. We'll get all our dreams, what we're supposed to get. And I want to leave you with this. It's not on our timing. It's not on our timing to get these amazing dreams. It's on your Creator's timing. It's on God's timing. Remember that.
Love that. Amen.
You know, sometimes, you know, people say, oh, I want my car. I want my car. You know what I mean? And I want it next Thursday. I want it next Thursday. If it's part of your Creator's plan, if it's part of God's plan, you'll get it next Thursday. But if it's not part of his plan, there's no way you can receive that. So not your timing, on God's timing, he will release everything that's destined for you.
Love that.
Amen.
Amen.
So that's where I'm at with a lot of the stuff right now. So Mike, I'm gonna jump onto a broadcast in about 45 minutes.
Another one.
And,
okay.
Yeah, we've got to kind of prepare for that for 7 o'clock UK time. But you know what? I've been pumped up.
Love it.
I've been pumped up by you today. This has been amazing. From something that was a little bit of a banter chat. Oh, let's meet up, man. Let's meet up. Let's do a live. Let's do a live. And putting something that was a seed, and now we've created some harvest. What a beautiful thing. There was a metamorphosis process. There was a metamorphosis process. There was a metamorphosis process before the harvest.
Wow. Yes.
And in life, we've got to go through that metamorphosis process.
Exactly.
We've got to go through that process of being like a caterpillar before we get to the butterfly. Ooh.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah. We've got to go through the caterpillar before we get to that colorful butterfly.
Wow.
But we've got to go through the metamorphosis process.
That's right.
We can't just go butterfly. Yeah, I'm a butterfly. You know what I mean? Hold on a sec. Did you go through caterpillar? No. We gotta go through.
Oh man, you're killing it tonight. Oh, Dave, once a day's broken, are you back? Okay, good. Dave, let's wrap it up because we can go on the whole night, and I know you need to prepare yourself for your next broadcast. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Let's do that, man. Let's talk offline, and bless everyone as well.
Girls, I hope that you've. Yeah, I hope everybody's been inspired today at some point. And listen, you haven't seen nothing yet. From Michael Lee and from myself, Dave Wilkes. Thank you for all who have commented. Thank you for all who have watched today. And you know what? I'm just gonna say, there might be something that somebody else might be inspired by. So I'm gonna ask you if you can share this broadcast.
Wow.
There might be somebody that needs to hear something, or there might be somebody who needs to read one of these comments. I'm asking you if you can just press that button to share, you know what I mean? And let's bless somebody else, and you'll be blessed for doing it. All right? So to your family, Michael, God bless you. And I'll see you in probably about 5-10 minutes. For everybody who's been with us today, thank you very much. And I'd just like to close by saying, stay blessed. Over to you, Michael.
God bless you all, guys.
All right, then.
Hopefully Dave will invite me soon. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, then.